What has been LeBron's biggest mistake this season that people don't seeing that he's making? Oh well, it's plenty of mistakes they're making. Um, One of the mistakes he's making on the court is that he's allowing Kyle Korver to finish out a lot of these fourth quarters, and it's been bailing him out. But once the playoffs start, that's when his his balls go to his feet, and he can't hit anything. Look at Kyle Korver's playoff performances as compared to his regular season. So you're setting him up for a recipe for disaster. That's one of the mistakes LeBron is making. Two, one of the mistakes he's making is he's playing too many minutes. And playing too many minutes means that you increase your chances of being hurt. Now, LeBron ankle and things like that is still banged up. He's getting banged up a lot this season than any other season I've seen him in. You guys haven't really noticed it, but he's been getting hurt. Like below the knees. Below the knees, he's hurt. He's been taking shots to the ribs. He's been getting hurt this season. And they're saying the injuries are not healing at a rapid pace than it was beforehand. So there's a lot of mistakes he's making out there while he's on the court. And by that being one of the main things that like sticks out that he's doing, I'm seeing it as a process of down the road, changes gonna have to make after the All-Star break. Because another big problem that they've been, brought to the table is too many cooks in the kitchen. Too many cooks in the kitchen. When you look at the Cleveland Cavaliers, right? All of these guys are hurt. What's the flow going to be like once Isaiah Thomas comes back? Who's not a pass first, probably type of point guard. He's not a catch and shoot guard. He's not going to help you with the rebounding. He's a defensive liability, definitely against Kyrie Irving. I'm trying to figure out where I just don't get it. Like, where do they think that this is going to be a plus? Unless when LeBron's on the bench and then he can just go off and score his 20 some odd points, where they're going to leave Derrick Rose. There's only one basketball. So you got D Wade, Derrick Rose, Isaiah Thomas, LeBron James. All of these guys are ball dominant. Wade is the only player that can play off the ball, really, and make some things happen defensively and on the glass, things of that nature. Now, with all this firepower that they have, they're barely winning games against poor teams, teams that they're supposed to beat. During that streak, they had a win streak where at least only two out of what they went 13 in a row, only three of those games were by more than 5 points in that win streak. So you look at the Cleveland Cavaliers and you're saying, okay, they're winning the tough games, but how are they winning the tough games? They got a lot of breaks during those games. Those games could have easily been losses. So when it's all said and done, we're looking at I say we're looking at a team that's going to be very different in the second half than we're seeing now because they never really addressed the problem that they had last season, which was their defense. People say, well, they're a lot better defensively now than they were last year. I mean, they really haven't played a lot of great teams, but a lot of those teams are still scoring a lot of points on Cleveland. They're interior defense isn't there. Their transition defense is not really there. They're just playing a bunch of young teams who were very inexperienced, and a lot of teams are right now in a rebuilding process. We probably have never had this big a shakeup in the NBA in the last 6 years as far as a rebuilding process. There are so many teams that are rebuilding right now. The Memphis Grizzlies are in a rebuilding stage right now. And a lot of people didn't even know that. They got rid of two of their anchors of the team who really been there forever with Tony Allen and Zebo. And they were starting to rebuild the team around Gasol and Conley. The Chicago Bulls rebuilding and revamping the entire team. Then you have Indiana. They was rebuilding. Orlando Magic is rebuilding. There are so many teams that are rebuilding from scratch this season. Some teams like Phoenix Suns, they're just a bad team. They have some of the greatest players on there, but they're just a bad team. So, with that being said, you saw what happened with the organization and the direction they went into. And it's only a selected amount of teams in the league right now that are very competitive. The Clippers are injured. It's a lot of teams that's just not going to be in the thick of it. And when you break down 30 teams, you really got about 6 or 7. You really got about 6 or 7 that are really good teams, and another 3 or 4 that's just good. So you basically break yourself down to a 10-team league, and everybody else is just trying to rebuild. And if you didn't see that this NBA season, that's because you probably wasn't looking. Now, as we move forward throughout the NBA season, you'll start to see a lot of different things transpire. You'll start to see that other teams are not afraid of the Cleveland Cavaliers. You're starting to see that um, teams that such as like other teams in the East, they're not like gonna bow down because it's LeBron James. They're gonna compete. Why? Because most of these players don't know defeat. Most of these guys came from college. They're very young. They're not used to losing. So in their mind state, they don't have a. It's another night. We're playing Cleveland. We're not gonna win. They don't have that in their mentality. Their mentality is entirely different. So on that note, I'm gonna leave. I don't want to make the video too long, but just wanted to try to give you an idea from where we are in our perspective. You tell me what you think about it and analyze my video and everything that I said in this video and see if I'm correct about my breakdown. And I want you to click the subscribe button and click the notification button and make sure that you opt for what they call full access of the channel. Like you get all of it instead of limited. I didn't know that they had that. That's what they're saying. That's the reason why people are not getting their notifications. So make sure you click the bell and go to the options and say, I want to get every video that he makes. I want it. Whatever. I have to go and check it out myself. It's just more of the Frogger Nago bull crap they come up with. I'm out.